Good evening, good evening, good evening. How's everyone out there doing tonight? For those of you catching this on the replay, you have any questions after I'm done? Because this is just going to be a quick live show. You can go ahead and leave comments at the bottom, all right? So, quick Q&A. I want to give a shout out to Richard. Richard sent me some information that some of you veterans might be interested in knowing, because I get comments a lot on videos I've done pointing out things that have happened to veterans who basically try to steal from the system, okay? So this is from Richard earlier today. He pointed this out of a veteran, Pensacola, Florida, who pleaded guilty to stealing over $680,000 in veterans benefits, okay? So I'll put the link in the chat for anyone who's interested in reading more about this. But I always try to tell you guys who tell me, hey man, these guys ain't disabled, yada, yada, yada. You know, how can I turn them in? I always tell people, hey, don't worry about it. You know, if they're lying, it's going to catch up. And it's probably catching up to them at the worst possible time. So don't worry about what the next veteran's doing. Okay, I've seen plenty of people here tell me they got issues and I got something similar to what they got. And I see them running, going here, doing that. And I'm like, wow, well, they must not be talking about the same thing I have, because I ain't no way I can do all that. But I don't trip on it, okay? Because eventually you're gonna get caught. The US government is not putting out that much money to people and never coming to check to make sure that you say whatever it is you got. Because like this person, you know, they say they were in a wheelchair, confined to a wheelchair since 2007. Obviously, that wasn't the case. And like I said, they're going to find a way. Now, the only method that the government has released so far is that social media. They catch a lot of these people on social media lying. Well, I'm sure they have other methods and techniques that they use besides just social media. Okay, so that's that one. I want to get it out of the way. Again, thanks to Richard for leaving this post. I had no idea about this one, but I appreciate all you guys who leave comments, tips, information. I try to share as much as I can, okay? Now, I want to answer a couple questions, but first I want to say this. There are some people in the veteran community who just like drama. Okay. I'm in the loop on a lot of different things on YouTube. I have people who watch channels and they'll let me know, hey man, these people are calling your name, they saying this, they saying that, right? And then someone will come in the comment section and then ask a question where it may have been answered or asked on one of them perv channels, okay? Because they're trying to get me to banner with the perverts, which I'm not gonna do. You know, they can have whatever they got going on over there. Don't like me, fuck you. That's best I can tell people. Fuck you if you don't like me. Because what the fuck you gonna do about it? Nothing. So anyway, I just wanted to put that out there, that there are veterans, just like when we were in the military, you have some veterans that watch out for you, and then you have some veterans that when you in the field, you basically fuck them up. Let's just talk about it honestly. You basically fuck them up. At least that's the way we did it, okay? There's always gonna be cowards and punks among us. No matter where we are in the world, no matter what we do, there's always gonna be people who wanna see drama, who wanna hear drama, and wanna start drama, all right? And those are usually the people who are always in the shadows, never want to let you know who they are. But with YouTube, you can find out who they are, get their real name, know everything about them. And they love to see one side pitted against the other side. For whatever reason, they get off on stuff like that, right? But I'm not one to fall for that. So I know that some of the questions that I get, like the one I got pertaining to the jury, I got that question like 7 times on my other channel. And I got it like 3 or 4 times on this channel. Because they were hoping I was going to say something, right? They were hoping I was going to say something that would anger the pervs and the mongerers so they can try to come after me because you got sucio veteranos who are just jealous of me not letting them on the show or me saying something that they didn't like. So they don't have a voice. So they'll go to the perv channels and mention my name, right? And they know that there are people who watch those shows that will come back and tell me, hey man, they saying this and that. And I'll be like, dude, let's keep it a buck. The majority of the people who watch stuff like that and talk like that are people that I would never be in my circle. Never. That's just the truth. I try to deal with more people who are on the intellectual side than it is the hood logic. That hood logic shit ain't never did nothing for nobody. That's the reason why a lot of them are financially where they are, education wise where they are, why a lot of them are stuck on child support in the States and can't go nowhere is because of that hood logic. Keep it. I've learned a better way to deal with a lot of things. But I will answer this question because this is a question that was posed from the perverts, and I'll answer it because it's not very hard. You know, this is where if you just did a tiny bit of research, you could have answered your own question, you know, but ignorance, trying to be funny, thinking you know, and because I'm black and they black, well, I got to be doing the same things that they're doing. Well, if we doing the same things, how come I can do a lot more, go a lot more places, have a lot more things while you sit there on your ass and wish you could do what I'm doing? See, that would be more the question you need to answer. But I'll answer this question. Why did I come to Medellin? Why did I come to Medellin? Is very simple. If you did some research back in 2017, 2018, when I got my first visa, if you would have looked up the top 3 countries to get a visa, the easiest top 3 countries to get a visa, there were 3 that came up very quickly. Panama was number 1. It was either Turks and Caicos or one of the other ones you could have paid 50,000 or 100,000 to get citizenship. And Colombia, before they made the rule change, was the other one. That was the easiest ones to get the visa. The fastest one to get the visa was Colombia, because back then you only needed to show you had the income. All these other rules that they have now, they didn't have them back then. So you could apply, pay your money, give them your visa, and have your visa within 3 weeks. Done. You could be here for the next 3 years. That's how simple it was to get a visa. But not only that, the cost of a caregiver here versus the cost of a caregiver in the States. It's like common sense. But people don't want to use common sense. It's better to have a narrative that I must be doing the same dirt that they're doing. Well, I got to be doing it too. It only makes sense. I'm black. I'm in this country. So that only makes sense. You know, it's like, well, why would you go here? I mean, obviously, the visa being easy, whether I would have bought a property or just showed my income and got my visa in 3 weeks, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense for you to come here for that. Caregiver, pay $4,500 a month in the States or pay $1,300 a month here. Again, obviously that logically doesn't make sense. That has to be another reason why you chose this. The weather. Oh, no. It can't be the weather. Again, that doesn't logically make sense to hood people. People who have intellect, though, okay, I can see the difference. Because before I was able to get the caregiver program, which is why I'm thinking about going back to the States, I'm paying for all this out of the income I had. Well, now I don't have to do that anymore because now they moved me into a much higher category in the SMC category. Along with me moving back to the States, I would get a lot more. But once again, let's use that hood logic. Well, man, he just going back because he ain't got no money. This is how people think. You know what I'm saying? This is how arguments, the back and forth, because nobody wants to do research. Everybody wants to think they know why you're doing something, but nobody wants to actually take 5 minutes, not even 5 minutes, 2 minutes, Google search. easiest countries to move to 2018 on Google. Maybe you would have got a logical answer, but people don't look for logical answer. People look for drama. That's what they look for. What I got on with me? Juan. Hello, sir. Hope all is well. VA is giving me a permanent headphones. Too young to say hearing aids. Thanks again for all you do. It's all good, man. It's all good. Good luck with that. What consultation, Dennis? I have no idea what you're talking about. What is the process for a consultation? I have no idea. When you say consultation, you mean with who? The embassy? Because I don't, bro, let me tell you something. Real talk, Dennis. I had a conversation with Howard and I had a conversation with Mike. I met a guy, this is no lie. I met a guy, when was that? Saturday? I think it was Saturday. He recognized me from the channel. He came up to me and he goes, hey man, I see your channels. I know you don't mess with gringos, but I got a question for you. Would you do like what you're talking about, consultation for like what these other guys charge, $250 to $300 for 2 days for 4 hours each day? I said, hold on, 1 second. You're trying to tell me that these people are charging their own people $250, $300 to walk around with them for 4 hours for 2 days, $300 for what? To be a glorified babysitter? Real talk, man. There ain't nothing I or anybody else can tell you that you can't find out with this. Not one damn thing. Nothing. Nothing. There ain't nothing. I'm going to tell you, somebody else is going to tell you, you can't find with this. You can't find with this. You can't see with this right here. Right here. This is all you need. And I'm like, man, you got to be kidding me. Ain't no way in hell I'll give a grown man $300 to walk around with me for 4 hours each day for 2 days. Man, y'all different. Y'all different. Straight up different. Anyway, they catch veterans is when they go to the VA appointments, they take notes on everything. It's not just that, bro. When they leave is mostly when they catch them too, because you know how it is. When the vet gets out the car, he's limping going into the VA. He's limping the entire time he's in the VA, having the hardest time while he's in the VA. As soon as that appointment's over, he comes back outside, gets in his car, goes across the street, get out as normal, pump his gas, pay for everything, didn't get the wheelchair, didn't get the cane, didn't get nothing. Jump right back in the car, drive on off. What do you think they're gonna do at that point? Because there's cameras all over the outside of that VA, all over. So anything that you do outside of that, they see it. They see it. They know who's faking, who's letting on more than what it actually is, which is why a lot of times your ratings are so low. Because they're looking at your x-rays, they're looking at your MRIs, they're looking at your EKGs, your nerve conduction studies, and they going, yeah, this is not as bad as they're saying it is. But with some people, it is. It can be very rough. What is your experience in getting a compensation and pension exam overseas? Man, I've gotten shit. In the 6 years I've been here, I think I've gotten about eight or nine CNP exams. Normally what happens is one of those third-party services, what they call, they use the same ones in the States. They'll call you and then they'll have an appointment set up somewhere close to where you live. Once they get your address or where you are, see, I've been lucky. I live right next to a bunch of clinics and hospitals. So anytime they set up an appointment for me, it's usually right down the street. I'm like a 5-minute drive away. And you go in, it's the same process. They got a sheet, the same sheet that they use in the States for whatever your condition is. They just go straight down the line with that sheet. They're a little bit more thorough with measurements. Like in the States, most of the CMP exams I've been to in the States, they don't really take the right measurement. They kind of guess. They'll say, okay, bend your knee as far as you can, and then they'll just guesstimate. Where here, they're going to actually take the ruler or whatever device they need to measure, and they're going to take the proper measurements. But it's been fine, you know, but I will tell you this. When I got my decision done, I had to go to the States because my last issue that I had here, I went to 2 different CMP exam doctors. I don't know what exactly the VA was looking for, but I ended up having to go to the William King Clinic in Fort Lauderdale to do a CMP exam there for them to approve my claim. They wouldn't approve it based on what they had here, so I had to go there. But you know, it's the same process. They set you up, and then if you want to get your money for your travel time, you can get your travel time for that. But I was literally down the street. I don't think it would have been $1, you know, for me, as close as I was to where I needed to go. But it's basically the same process. For a psych exam, you're just going to do it like telehealth. And again, they got the same form they just read off of, and they ask you basic questions. Your overall psyche, how you feeling, you feel like hurting yourself, that type of thing. Same thing, no different, pretty simple. When I was in the DR, when I did the CMP exam, I actually had to go to the embassy. I don't know if they still do this now, but when I did it in the DR, I had to go to the embassy to get a packet. Actually, I didn't even go in. They had the packet waiting for me at the guard gate. I had to give them my ID, I got a packet, and then I went to it was on Independencia, a clinic I went to on that street. And I gave them the packet, same thing, went through the little process, and that was it. It wasn't anything strange. The only real difference in the DR, that doctor really didn't speak a whole lot of English, where the ones here, all of them, all the places I've been here, all the doctors spoke English, perfect English. Some, they had degrees from where they went to different colleges in the US. So yeah, it was pretty simple. All right. Are there any other questions? Okay, because I got one more. I did a short about this, and I'm gonna start showing people what it's actually like to be a disabled veteran. So I did one tonight. I got my boot on, I got my compression socks on, and there is so much ignorance. Usually it's on the hood side when it comes to disabled veterans and why we get what we get, right? A lot of times when people see us, especially on Saturday Roll Call, we're just talking shit, talking about our experiences or whatever's going on in the world, right? And they see a finished product. They'll go, ain't nothing wrong with you guys. Y'all getting free money. You just overseas collecting free money, right? Nobody sees that you got to put on these walking boots or compression socks or knee braces or back braces, or that you need help going to the shower. You need help getting out of the shower, or somebody got to help you take a bath, or somebody's got to lay out your medication. Somebody's got to lay out your clothes. Somebody's got to cut your fingernails. Somebody's got to cut your toenails. Somebody's got to brush your teeth. Somebody's got to brush your hair. Somebody's got to hold your hand to help you get out the door so you don't fall, or hold your hand, help you go down the stairs so you don't fall. Nobody sees those things. Those things are never broadcast on YouTube, right? Because a lot of those things are private, and a lot of that stuff is embarrassing, right? You sitting on the toilet and you got to have somebody help get you off the toilet. People don't see that. People only see the finished product. That's all most people see. And once people see the finished product, they make the most ignorant statements because they may see you in public walking and they go, man, ain't nothing wrong with you. What they don't know is how much medication you took that morning just for you to get to that point where you're out the door and moving. And later on that night, I wish I could trade issues I have with some of these ignorant ass people for one day. Just one day, so they'll understand what it's really like being disabled. People don't really get that. What's up, Mr. Collins? Aid in attendance. Aid in attendance that affects your 100%. Will it be offset? What do you mean affects your 100? No. Mm-mm. Aid in attendance that will affect your there. I don't understand what you mean by that question, but aid in attendance does not affect your 100%. It doesn't change your 100%. The only thing that happens when you get into the SMC category is it's still categorized as 100%, but you move to another pay section. You're either going to start at L1 or you're going to move up to whatever level you qualify for. So it doesn't take anything away. It doesn't offset anything. I'll show you guys real quick what I'm talking about. It doesn't offset anything. I don't quite understand your question there, Mr. Collins. If I'm understanding it correctly, you're saying offset like it's taking something away. They're not taking anything away. Right here. Show this real quick. Okay, so you have, these are the lower ones. No one ever gets Q anymore. You pretty much get K. Now let's say you were to get SMCK. This amount, 128.62, would be added to your 100%. They're not taking anything away. That would be added, right? But let's say you were to get basic aid in attendance. Basic aid in attendance is L. This is what you would get as a single male. Instead of the, what do you guys get now? Like 36 something? I think it's like 30, I don't know what it is right now. Might be 37. I don't know what it is. But anyway, as a single male, if you were to get aid in attendance, this is what you would get: 45.06.84. If you had other qualifying disabilities, or you had something that was a single disability on its own and they didn't use it to give you aid in attendance, you would move to the next category. So whatever disabilities that you got outside of what they use to grant you aid in attendance, this is where you move up the line to all these other categories, okay? That's basically what that means. There's no offset. They're not taking anything away. If you're married, they have a rate for that. Hold up. Where is that? Veteran or spouse. So this is what you would get, 47.08, and then so on and so forth. If you got kids or your parents in the home, you're taking care of them, all of this, or they taking care of you, all of this, right? These are the rates. You just move into a higher category. That's it. All right. And then this one's for children, if you got kids. And they don't even pay that much. You see what you get for one child, 46.41, where a spouse would be 47.08. VA don't give you nothing for your kids, man. It's not like Social Security. Totally different. Let's see. I don't tell people I'm 100% anymore. People only see my good days. Yeah, man. It's a lot of stupidity when it comes to it. Just people make assumptions about veterans without really knowing what the real situation is. When you're 100% P&T, you still put in claims. It is because your condition is getting worse, not meaning you, but in general, because mine will with my complete spine jacked up, just asking. Yeah, I mean, okay. Sometimes I don't put in claims. They'll put in a claim because of something the doctor said or something the psychiatrist may have said. And they go, okay, this is going to move him from where he is now to another category. So the VA will sometimes do it on their own. I'm sure some of you guys have gotten a call about a C&P exam and you never even put in a claim. That's because the doctor or the psychiatrist has said something has gotten exponentially worse than what it was before, or you have miraculously got better and they might be looking to take something away. But just because you 100% and you continuously getting your medical treatment, they see what's going on. And as you progressively get older, it's going to progressively get worse. Your conditions don't get better when you get old. They get worse. You slow down more. Your body becomes more stiff. All the injuries and things that you had, they get worse. So yeah, Even at, bro, even at 100% SMC, where I am in the SMC category, I got 2 claims in now that they put in. I didn't even put them in. They put them in. Okay, that's just what it is. As it gets worse, they see it, they make the call. Not always, but sometimes. Are there any other questions, ma'am, when it comes to this? Whether it's VA or Social Security related, right? And I want to say this again to you guys out there who are not receiving Social Security. I cannot stress this enough. If you are off Social Security, if you have not received or if you're not applied for and receiving Social Security, as these years go by, you're not collecting your Social Security. They put zeros in the place where you used to have money going in there. And every year that there's a zero added, that's your Social Security amount going down. It gets lower and lower and lower. Where you may have been getting the max or the max for your category at your pay rate, let's say it was $2,800, they got you projected to get when you got out. Here it is, 10, 15 years later, you're down to 21. By the time you get to full retirement age, if you don't take it at 62, you may only be getting $1,600. You lost $1,200 because you didn't apply, you're not paying into the system, and you're like, what the hell happened? All those zeros, man. For you retirees who retired early, let's say you retired and you got out 35, 36, you decide you're just gonna live on your retirement and your VA. You screwing yourself. You literally screwing yourself when it comes to your Social Security later on, because you're gonna lose a lot of money. Seriously. And I'm not making this up. You can call and ask them. They're gonna tell you all those zeros that's getting added in there, because they're gonna take your highest years and your lowest, and that's how they figure this out. And you're gonna have at least 20, 30 years of nothing but zeros. Okay? And then you're gonna have your highest years over here when you were in the service. And they're gonna put them together and give you an average. So if you have not applied and if you still have quarters, right, you still eligible to apply for SSDI, you should get on that, like right now. Do you still need at least 100 rating? No. You need at least 70%. Wait, are you talking about the caregiver? Wait, you asking about 8 and 10? No, you don't have to be 100%, just a solid 100%. No, it could be a combination of things. Just like when you got 100%, you don't have one single rating at 100%. It could be a combination of things that get you to aid in attendance. But it doesn't. You don't have to be rated 100% to get aid in attendance. You don't have to be rated 100% to get the caregiver program. The caregiver program, you only need to be 70%. So if you just got, I don't know, let's say you got a combination of your knees, your ankle, and your back, and because of those things, they're really bad, and you ended up being 80, 90% for that, could you get caregiver program? Absolutely. Could you get aid in attendance? If the doctors feel like this is preventing you from living your daily life, sure. But you don't need a single 100% rating, no. For aid in attendance, no. I don't have a single 100% rating. Do not have a single 100% rating. Now, when it comes to the SMC category, and I explained this before, you can get K with a lot of the SMCs. But S, which is housebound, totally different than aid in attendance. That's a different one. All right. Good evening. Thank you for expressing that about SSDI to us veterans, because a lot of us don't know about Social Security. Yes, bro. I'm imploring to a lot of you guys. I wish Mike was on here, because Mike had to take care of some stuff to get his Social Security, and he's happy he did it. I'm telling you guys, man, that is extra money every month that could make a huge difference, especially if you got young kids under the age of 18. For example, let's say you have you 100%. That's all you're getting right now. You got a child that's 15, right? Junior or sophomore in high school. You go apply for your Social Security. You find out you're getting $2,000 a month. Well, because you got this child, well, the child's gonna get half of what you get. They don't take away half, they add half. So now you're getting $3,000 a month while that child is still in school. So that's 3,000 on top of what you get from the VA, and you get all of it. You get all 3,000 from Social Security on top of all of the, what is it for 100%? 30, 37? Is it 37, 36, whatever it is. So now instead of getting 3,700 a month, you getting 6,700 a month. Okay? This, I'm gonna keep it a buck. This is the reason why a lot of the old heads went to the Philippines, went to Thailand to get these young girls pregnant so they can get that extra money from Social Security by having a child. Over there or in countries like this, it is much cheaper to raise a child than it is in America. So if you're getting a decent Social Security, 2,000, 3,000, you have a child. Like if you're getting 3,000 a month from Social Security, you come to a country like this or whatever, and you have a child. You getting 3,000? Now you getting 4,500 a month instead of just 3,000 for having that child. Man, people been doing this shit for the longest. That's why they do it. They have a child so they can get that extra money. That's precisely why they do it. Just keeping it a buck, just keeping it honest, telling y'all the truth. Okay. So if you 50 years old, you come to DR, you come here to Colombia, you go to Brazil, you go to Panama, you have a child, whatever you get from Social, if you only getting 1,000, you're gonna get 500. So there's 1,500 you get now from Social Security if you have a child. Now I'm not telling y'all to go out there and have a bunch of kids. I'm just telling you that's why a lot of these old heads go to places like that. 3621.95. Okay. Thank you, sir. Hey, I appreciate you putting that the information in there about that veteran that pled guilty for all that money. I was in the fire department for 30 years after military, never paid into Social Security. Need 10 years, 40. Wow, you never paid into it? Wow. Okay. Well, I don't know if you're still working, if you're retired, but it's never too late to start paying into the system. I forgot how long you got to pay into. It's some kind of thing they got to do where you paying into it to collect. I started collecting SSDI at 23. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I started collecting in 2014. So yeah, next year in July will be 10 years for me of collecting. Yeah. I started collecting in 2014, like 2 years after I was forced to retire. Yeah, because I retired at 37. That's when they made me 100 with the VA. And then 2 years later, I got Social Security, and I've had it ever since. I've only had two, what do you call them, with Social Security? Where they call you back in and check your medical stuff. I've had two of those already. Any other questions? But I implore you guys, man, if you can get on Social Security, SSDI, it makes a huge difference. It makes a huge difference. If you have serious enough issues and you can get into the SMC category, it makes a huge difference overall. Oh yeah, you can apply online. You can apply online, and pretty much everything that you're gonna do with SSDI, you're gonna go through the embassy. You can make an appointment and fill it out at the embassy. You can fill it out online. If you in the States, you want to do it in person, you know, but I'm not gonna lie to you and tell you that it's easy to get. Because even though you may have a lot of issues with the VA, Social Security judges things totally different. I mean, I know plenty of people who are 100% with the VA, but they cannot get SSDI for some reason. They won't give it to them, right? So I don't want people to think that this is no problem. You're gonna get it like that, unless it's something obvious, right? But if you just got a bunch of issues, 10%, 20%, this, I'm not gonna tell you that it's easy getting Social Security, because even with my stuff, right, and my leg goes numb, I got all kinds of shit. I got denied the first time and won on appeal, right? And then, like I just said, continuing disability review, CDRs, they're gonna do those. Okay, you might as well get ready, because you're gonna get one or two. When you have Social Security, is there an income limit? Nope. Nope. There's no income limit for aid and attendance. No. There's no restrictions on your income, even with Social Security, right? As long as, okay, now there is a difference. I want to make sure I tell you guys this before people go. Okay, you do know that SSDI is what you paid into the system. SSI is need-based. They're two different things, okay? SSI is for people with low to no income. This is SSI. SSDI doesn't matter. You paid into the system. So even if you got money coming from the market, you got $1 million coming a month, you still entitled to this. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Same with the VA. They don't care what you got coming from Social Security. You paid into the system, you earn that. What you get from the VA, you earn that. So it doesn't matter. So Mr. Collins, if you got rental properties and you making $8,000 a month, you apply for aid and attendance and they give you M, where you getting $5,800 more a month. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You qualify for it, you get it. Doesn't even matter. There's no income limits, none. SMC category, man, is I'm not saying it's an easy category to get in, but if you qualify, definitely take advantage of it. For those of you in the States, if you are already receiving aid and attendance, okay, you should definitely go apply for the caregiver program. I'm going to repeat that. If you are currently in the United States of America or U.S. territory, Puerto Rico, Virgin Islands, Guam, anywhere like that, you already got aid and attendance, you should go apply immediately for the caregiver program, because the qualification is basically the same. Now, if you're abroad, you can forget it when it comes to the caregiver program. But if you're in the U.S. or U.S. territory, you should apply, because you're going to be in one or two categories. You're either going to be in the lower tier or the upper tier, depending on how much help you actually need per day and per week. So you're subject to get anywhere from 600 to 1,200 more on the lower end, 2,500 to 4,500 more on the higher end. But it all depends on how much help you need in your daily life. So for example, if you only need someone for maybe 2 hours a day, 4 or 5 days out of the week, that's going to put you on the lower tier, 600 to 1,200. On the other hand, if you need somebody with you 10, 12, or the total day, 7 days a week, that's going to put you on the higher end, which is going to be anywhere from 2,500 to 4,500 more per month. Now, that money does not go to the veteran. That money goes to the caregiver. Normally, it's like a spouse, a girlfriend, a family member, whoever. But it doesn't go to the veteran. The caregiver money goes to the caregiver. The aid and attendance money goes to the veteran. That's the difference, okay? Let's see, it depends on your medicine you're taking and going to doctors. If that medicine or your medical condition is on Social Security blue list book, Yeah, that's part of it too, Mr. Collins. But I remember I had to do a series of tests. They sent me to a nerve conduction study. They had me do like a memory test. Like they have like these puzzles and different things they had you put together. Uh, Trying to remember what else. It was a series of things they had me go through. It wasn't just one exam. Man, mine took a while because they had me go do a bunch of stuff, and I had to go see a couple specialists. Let's see. With my spine issue, where should I look up on va.gov to stay ahead of my conditions? Again, thank you. I've been following you since you were in Arizona before you went overseas. Wow. Okay, Juan. You said, where can you look up your conditions? You can go to the VA's website, va.gov, in the search engine. You can put the 38 CFR in and look up your specific condition and see where the next step would be with your condition. Now, as far as like, you know, your next steps, if like you wanted to apply for something, I would definitely talk to my doctor about whatever it is. I would see here's what I would do. I would look at my last CNP or my last award letter. Your last award letter will tell you why they gave you the rating that they gave you. Okay. And if you had whatever it was next, then they would put you in that next category. Then I will be talking to my doctor trying to figure out, okay, is something that's going to happen to me in the future? Because if it is, I want to start documenting it now. So when I apply, this was already documented. It's already in my file. I don't have to go through a whole lot of fight in order to get this next step. You guys understand what I'm saying? Let's see. After the second continuing review from Social Security, they usually switch it to 7 years. Yes, you're right, Richard. When I did the first one, within the first 5 years, because yeah, it was 2019. And it was something with that one, they had me go back. I don't know what it was with that one. So I did another one. That was right before COVID, because I had just went to a VA exam. So that was 2020. And I shouldn't have another one until 2027, if I have one then. SSDI didn't use your VA record. Yeah. Now, SSDI wants to look at everything. So anything that you got outside of VA, like you might have been in a car accident, you might have fell in your home, you may have broken your arm, or you hurt your back, swimming, whatever. Social Security looks at everything, where VA only looks at service connection. Okay, what happened to you while you were in service? Social Security looks at everything that is relevant. I ain't telling you to go all the way back when you were 6 years old, you fell out of a tree and sprained your wrist. I ain't saying that. But everything that is relevant to what your condition is right now. So like I said, you got your issue with the VA, but let's say you got in a car accident and you screwed up your back, and that's not service connected, okay? Social Security needs to know that, especially if you telling them you having all these back issues. So don't just rely on your VA medical records, right? And if there's no mention of the accident and what was the cause and what the records are, because Social Security looks at everything, not just VA. It's anything that's relevant that happened to you. Let's see. If you're 55, yeah, it's called the grid rules. You're right. Yep. You can't be retrained in the workforce. It's much easier if you're that age. Yes. If you're over, I think it's 50, 49 or 50, not necessarily 55, Mr. I think it's 49 or 50, to be honest with you. But yeah, it's called the grid rules. Got denied for aided attendance after a doctor approved. What's next? What do you mean? You go into, let's see. You got denied for aided attendance after doctor approved. You got to help me with that one. So you're saying the doctor said that you needed aided attendance and they still denied you? I'm assuming that's what you mean by that, right? then you would need to file an appeal. If you don't want to lose that time, you would file an appeal. If you don't care about that time, you would reapply, and it would be a lot faster because the appeals obviously going to take a lot longer. I don't know how long the process was that you waited to get that decision, but that's a decision you got to make, because if you file an appeal, let's say you already have a year in, you file an appeal, it'll probably be 2-3 years before they get to it, right? But that's 2-3 years of potential back pay versus you just file a new claim and file it over, then you just going to get that time that you just filed. You lose the other time that you waited. Don't you have to have the child before? Oh yeah, you ain't getting that money without no child. Yeah, you ain't getting that without no child. The child, yes, you have to have a child. Like if she pregnant, no, they ain't getting nothing till that child come out. You ain't getting nothing. No, they need the child and the birth certificate. Okay, with your name on the birth certificate. Yeah. No, you ain't getting nothing without the child. Let's see. You're right on the age. Yeah, I thought it was like 49 or 50, something like that for the grid rules. Let's see. Doctor fill out aid and attendance form. VBA denied. Okay, then that has a lot to do with your CMP exam and what your doctor actually wrote, because it's kind of like when you got an X-ray and the X-ray shows in your favor. That's fine, but if there's nothing else in your medical record that backs up that conclusion, that not necessarily mean they're going to prove it, which is what happens in your case. Like your doctor could fill that form out and say, yeah, you need aid and attendance because of this, this, and this. But what the CMP examiner usually does is they go back in your file and they see all these things that your doctor wrote before. And if your doctor never mentioned any of this before, you're going to have a hard time, because that one statement ain't enough. It helps, but it ain't enough. You need where the doctor has mentioned this before, or you've said it before and the doctor agreed with it. You have to build that case. Just one statement alone filling out that form ain't enough, because they look at your medical records to go, okay, you have this history. What this doctor saying, does it match your history? And if it doesn't match your history, they're not going to prove it, regardless if he said you need it or not. If it doesn't match what's in your medical records, they're not going to prove that. Put it in September 6th. Wow, you got a quick decision. Well, that's up to you, bro. I mean, you can file an appeal, or you can put in for a new claim. Now, a new claim is going to be faster, but you're going to lose this time you got right here, which if you put it in September 6th of this year and you just got to respond back, that was fast. That was quick. So that's up to you which way you want to do it. But I would tell you this. You need more than just that one form that doctor fill out. If there's nothing else in your medical records that supports what that doctor is saying, it won't matter. That's one of the things that kills a lot of people. Some people will go get an MRI, and the MRI says, okay, this is your problem. But there ain't nothing else in your medical record that supports that MRI. The chance of you getting approved are pretty low, because that's exactly what they look for, man, is consistency, and whatever you have in your history matches what they're saying now. Let's see. Nurse told me a while back, we putting in your medical records, I need aid and attendance, had 2 different shoes. Damn. Yeah, I needed aid and attendance in my medical records since 2012. Since 2012. I didn't get approved for a dude until 2020, March of 2020, right after they shut everything down with COVID. Is a notice of disagreement an appeal? Yes. Yeah, when you file a notice of disagreement, that's basically an appeal. You have different stages of that where you can, how's it go? You can do the appeal, or you can go to, what's it called? The person above, the supervisor. You can have it go to a supervisor, or you can go to the board. It gives you like 3 different decisions, if I remember right, or which way you want to do it. I put in my application for aid and attendance in July, and I still haven't heard nothing from them. Yeah, that's normally, yeah, the one he said for September 6th, and he already got a denial. That was fast. I've never heard anyone got one that fast. Usually, because it took mine, I put mine in, because you know they backdated it. Because okay, I don't know how many of you all are going through this, but check this out. When I went to the VA in February, no, I put the application in. Yeah, I put the application in March of 2020. So when I went to the VA in February before that, they had wrote it down again. Hey, you got to have somebody with you, right? So anybody that had a claim in 2020, y'all went through this. They suspended your claim after September. They shut down the VA. I don't know if y'all remember this. They shut down the VA. They suspended all claims, and my claim didn't get reactivated until May 1st, right? So when they approved my aid and attendance, they only wanted to pay me from May 1st until the approval date, which was October something. They approved it. So they only wanted to pay me from that point to that point. I'm telling anybody right now, if you were in that same time frame I was in and they suspended your claim, you're going to get that money. You should file a claim to get your money, because I had to file a claim to get mine. So they had to retro pay me from May, when they opened the claim back up, going all the way back to March of 2020. Okay, let's see. Curious, how long did it take to get a decision on your VA claims? Which claims? The claims that I had from here, or the claims in general? Like the claims that I had from here, where I went to CNP exams, anywhere from a year to a year and a half. If you're just talking about claims in general, it just depends on what it was. Let's see, recently denied VA pension, my SSDI, and 30% exceeded, maximum amount. They included my dependent allowance, which goes to my BM. Is there any other options? Unfortunately, no. Okay. So with a VA pension is very similar to SSI for Social Security. A VA pension is need-based. Okay, that's for low to no income. Okay, that's what the pension is designed for. So the fact that you have SSDI, yeah, that ain't gonna work with a VA pension. Not gonna work, dog. Not gonna work, because, like I said, it's just like having SSI. If you had, like a regular service connected rating, then you can get that with SSDI all day long. But when it's a pension, nope. Yeah, you in a hard spot right there. You don't have any way to get, or do you have anything where you can file for service connection? Because that's going to be tough. I don't know how much you get with SSDI, but with the VA pension, it's got limits. Depends if you're married, if you're single, you got kids. I don't remember how much the pension is now, but like I said, it's just like SSI. You got a certain amount. Once you hit that threshold, let's say, for example, I don't remember how much it is, but to give people an example, let's say your Social Security is $1,500, and let's say the maximum amount of the pension is $1,200. You know what you're gonna get? Zero extra, because you have exceeded the maximum amount of that pension. Now, if your Social Security was only $300 and the pension was $1,200, then you would get that $900 to go with your $300 to make it $1,200. That's how that works, just like SSI. But if your Social Security is above that max limit for that pension, yeah, you're not gonna get nothing. And there's no way around that, because it's need-based. The only thing you can do, man, is if you got anything you can file that's service connected, you can get that service connected and that SSDI together. There ain't no issue there. Let's see. Did nerve study. Doctor said your back is effed up in your legs. That sciatic is not playing with. Oh yeah, bro. I got that now. Neuropathy, sciatica. I got neuropathy on the left side, sciatica on the right side, and it ain't getting no better. As you get older, Mr. Collins, it's gonna get worse. It's gonna get worse. It's gonna get bad. It's gonna get worse. Hopefully, you ain't as bad as I am. Where at night I gotta have my compression socks and my walking boot, just so my leg doesn't swell. All right, or I do have a wheelchair here I roll around in sometimes because my legs will go numb. When my legs go numb, dog, yeah, I'm done for the night. I'm not doing nothing. I ain't going nowhere. Hopefully you haven't gotten to that point, Mr. Collins, where you lose sensation in your legs. It's really bad on my left side, but it's starting to happen on my right side as well. Not as bad as my left, but yeah, been there, done that. All right, guys, are there any other questions? Yeah, black cleaner, man, that's tough, bro. That is tough. Man, I don't know what to tell you on that one, dude. The only other thing I can tell you, man, is if if you qualify for the SNAP program, like getting food stamps, like I don't know how much you get. I don't remember the numbers for the pension, but if I was you, bro, I would try to go get food stamps. I don't know how much you're getting in Social Security, but if you're only getting 12, 14, 1500, I mean, you may not get that much in food stamps. You may only get 2, 3, 400, but every little bit helps. Every little bit helps. I would definitely go apply for food stamps if I was you, depending on how much you get from Social Security, right? But I know, like, for people who are curious about this, and I'll end this with this because it's been almost an hour. There is nothing precluding, I can't even say the word right, veterans from applying for food stamps. The only caveat I will tell veterans is don't lie about your income. There's a spot on that application. It asks, are you receiving veterans income? Check yes, you are. And then it depends on what your rating is. If you 100%, ain't no point applying for food stamps, you don't qualify. At 100%, you don't qualify, right? You 36, what is it, 3621? You ain't gonna qualify for food stamps. You below that, I don't know what the cutoff is in each state. I don't know. Or federalized, I don't know. But if you like 70%, 60%, 50%, and that's all you got, man, go get them food stamps. Go get them food stamps. Forget that pride. Hey, if you got a family you need to take care of, man, go get them damn food stamps and take care of your family. Don't nobody know what they are. It's not like the old days where you got them books and you pulled out them food stamp books. Everything now is on a card. Everything. Everything. And if you need to go on base, you can go on base and you can use it at the commissary. If you need to do that, go do that. You got access. Everybody got access that's watching this program. You got access to go on base. Go on base and do what you need to do. Just putting it out there in the form of question statements first. 4 children received it, but this last one I knew couldn't. She is 17, now about to graduate. Okay. Question statements, the first 4 children received it. Okay. You're talking about Social Security, right? The first 4. Yeah. I forgot how it goes. Can you explain, Ira, real quick? How does it go? I know with one child, they give you half. When you have multiple children, I can't remember how that goes. When you have multiple kids, do they like split that half in half for each child? I can't remember how that goes. I know they ain't giving you 1,000 for each one of them kids. Now, hell no. Motherfuckers keep having kids, they never stop having kids. They never stop having kids. If that was the case, man, everybody got 15, 20 kids. They get $15,000, $20,000 a month. No, they're not doing that. But it's a way. I can't remember if the child gets half when it's one. When it's multiples, don't they split that somehow? Those of you out there that have multiple kids on Social Security, somebody explain that. I don't remember how it goes. I think they split it. Or is it the first two and then the last two split it? I can't remember how it goes. So please, in the comment section, if no one here knows, please leave when multiple kids on Social Security, how do they pay that? Because I don't remember how they do that. I know how they do it with one, but with multiples, I don't remember. All right, guys, I'm at my hour. Hey, I appreciate everybody watching. Hopefully I was able to help some people. I don't know everything, though. I don't know everything, but I'll try to help you guys with the stuff that I do know, that I have experience with, that I have gone through myself. So with that being said, everyone, I appreciate again everyone watching as always. And until the next time, guys, I'm out of here. Peace. Enjoy the rest of your night.